Okay, so it's Christmas Eve. I thought I'd do a stream as usual on a Friday night. I was considering not doing one, but I thought, you know what, I should really do one to do a Christmas stream. So what I'm going to do until we get one or two people watching, I will see if I can get a game of Battlefield 4. I said I would do this. So let's have a look. Let's see if we can get in a game. Don't want to play hardcore. Let's have a look. What is this? Let's just play it, shall we? And see how it goes. And then if people come on, what I'll do is, because tonight I wanted to just have a chat and sort of reflect on what's happened in 2021 concerning games. I'll go back to the sort of podcast thing and we can have a chat. It'd be nice. Tonight we're just streaming on... let's get in this game. We're actually just streaming on YouTube tonight. Reason being, it wouldn't configure itself for some reason. Oh, what am I shooting? Something's down there. Got me. Wasn't looking. Yeah, because the multi-stream for some reason wouldn't stream. So I can only stream to YouTube tonight. So hopefully we'll get one or two people on for the sort of podcast part of the stream. Hopefully we'll get people on and we can have a chat and see what people's views are on the way gaming's been going in 2021. For me, it wasn't brilliant. There was a lot of expectations that weren't fulfilled on certain games. There was releases on console. There was AAA games being released, and it's not been very good, to be honest. So Richard's saying, has the GAR got any better? Has the GAR? Oh, the game. Oh, hang on. I think I'm cutting myself off a little bit there. Has the game got any better? 2042 is not brilliant at the moment, mate. But, you know, it is what it is. And, you know, I am optimistic that it will get better, but only time will tell at the end of the day, Richard. Only time will tell. I am optimistic about it, though, so hopefully it will. I've got my fingers crossed. I want it to be good. I want it to be a good Battlefield game. Right, I don't know if this has gone off or not. So I'm going to have a look. I'll be back in 1 sec. Yeah, it seems to be still there. I'm having one or two problems with it tonight. Hopefully it will be okay. Is anyone in this? 2 against about 5. Brilliant. Looks like we're going to get on to shit here. Let's see if we can get a game going. Proton. Yeah, I think so as well, mate. When we get a couple more on, I'm going to put it on the podcast thing. Just waiting for 1 or 2 more people to join. But yeah, 2021 wasn't the greatest year for games, especially shooters. So I went back to, I was playing 2024, or last time I was doing a live stream, I said I will play Battlefield 4. Still my favourite Battlefield. And it still holds up. Bastard. It still holds up. And like I say, it is my favourite Battlefield game. But you know what? I'm gonna actually quit out of this. And I'm going to put it on the podcast. Bit of a Christmas theme. So 2021 wasn't the greatest. Well, for me, it wasn't the greatest year for gaming. Of course, Battlefield 2042 was a mess on release. It still is a mess. Lack of content. People have been asking for, 64-player games. They put it on as a temporary thing. I think that's ridiculous, to be honest. And that's what people are asking for back. And they say they're putting it as temporary. They're putting team deathmatch in, and they're saying, that's going to be temporary. The fundamental things that we want to play in Battlefield 2042 are just not there, and when they are there, they're just saying it's going to be a temporary thing. I don't understand the mentality of it, but that if that's what DICE and EA want to do, I think they're fucking up the game at the end of the day. You've got Insurgency Sandstorm. They've finally got the game out on console. Apparently it's not too bad on this gen console, but it's absolutely trash on last generation consoles. I don't think they've done, and you know me, I've not been a favourite of the development team, NWI, at NWI for Insurgency Sandstorm, but the game is a mess on last generation console, and people are saying on this generation console it's not too bad. I played it on a PlayStation 5, and I didn't have the greatest experience, but other games that have come out, Vanguard, apparently that's not brilliant. I've not played it. I've seen people play it. I've seen people review it. And, apparently they're not liking it. Is it the new Warzone map? Is it Caldera? I obviously I've played that. Not over keen on it, but I've not played too much, so I don't want to make any sort of decisions about how I feel about that, because the couple of games I had, I actually didn't do too bad, but it's as if they've took a step back in graphics with that game. I don't know what it is. It's as if it, you had Modern Warfare. I think Modern Warfare 2019. I thought it was a decent game, and the graphics in that were, for me, they were good. And then you got Cold War. I thought it took a step back on the graphics. And I think it's done the same on the new map for Warzone. Like I say, the couple of games that I had a bit of fun playing the game. So, if anyone's out there watching just at this moment in time, let me know what your likes and dislikes were from games of 2021. And Proton, don't forget to let us know about your game in the chat, the game that you're working on. Please do promote it here. I know you've gone on, I can't remember what it's called, like the fundraiser thing on the internet, and for the likes of me, because I've had a couple of beers tonight, I can't remember. If you're talking about the Warzone map, I totally agree. It is too bright. Just going to have a wee drink. Tonight I'm on Southern Comfort, and yes, there's nothing whatsoever mixed with that. There's a bit of ice, and that's, Southern Comfort. So cheers, everyone. Bit sweet for me, but I'll drink it. Well, if you remember Proton, when Modern Warfare 2019 came out, everyone was dumping on it. There was a lot of people dumping on it, and I thought there was something wrong with me, because I was having a half decent experience with Modern Warfare 2019. So, I can only call it as it is. I'm not going to go down that road just because everyone hates it or people don't like it from the COD community. If I like it, I'm going to say I like it. And that's why I get in a lot of trouble with other games that everyone seems to like, i.e. Insurgency Sandstorm. And, I have a go at the developers. I do like the game. I think it was trash on last generations, and it still is trash on last generation consoles, and they are going back to the way they were before the game was released on console, and just ignoring people when they're asking questions. For me, that's not a good developer. If you're doing something wrong, or the community doesn't particularly like things that you're doing, you have to address it, even if you don't like it, even if you think you are doing the right thing. It's the people out there, the community out there that, keep your game going. So Proton, let us know about your new game. I'm quite excited about it. And I can't for the life of me remember what that crowdsourcing thing that the game you're working on is on. Let us know, and I can advertise it for you. See if we can get a few people interested in the game, because I know there's a bit of a buzz out about it. So put in the chat there what it is and where they can help your team out, to help fund the game. So 2021, not the greatest year. In fact, one of the worst years in the last decade, I think, for games, especially first-person shooters. I don't know what went on, and you know what? Yes, Kickstarter. That's what it was. So when people start blaming, and I understand it has put pressure, but when people start overly blame it on the pandemic, having to work from home, I'm not having it to the extent. These are AAA companies. They can, or they have the facilities to be able to work remotely. And I've said this before, I'm sure that, some development teams have people that don't specifically live in the country where this game's being developed. So a lot of the development is done, remotely. I mean, who am I to say, though? But I'm just getting sick and tired of, every time that there's an issue with games, every time that a game's late's not come out as well as it should come out, that they're blaming it on the pandemic. It just does my head in a little bit. So again, anyone who's watching or will watch afterwards, put in the comments what you think was good or what you think was bad about 2021 concerning games, primarily because it's what I play, first-person shooters. And I get people asking me, Battlefield 2042 is such a bad game. It's come out such a mess. Am I still optimistic about it? Yeah, I've got to be. I want it to do well. I just think they've took the piss about what they led us to believe what we were going to get and what we actually got. It's a crying shame, really, because I think Battlefield, if this one fails, honestly, if this one gets ignored by the community, which is happening at the moment, 70-80% player count is down. We see that on Steam. We don't really know about the console, how many people are playing it on console. And when I go on, there's quite a few people playing it on console. But you know what? I think Battlefield's dead. If this game doesn't succeed, and it doesn't succeed quick, because people don't wait about anymore. They won't wait about. There's so many games out there. There's so many indie developers making, decent shooters out there. They're not going to wait about just, for when Ripple Effect or EA decide that they want to make this game good again, or when they want to give us more content. Because apparently the first new content that we're going to get is March of 2022. That's absolutely ridiculous for the money people are paying. It really is. Merry Christmas, mate. Joker, how you doing? And again, people out there who are watching, I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas. I'm not one really, I'm quite bar humbug, to be honest. But even I've got a Christmas background behind me. I thought, I'd make the effort. And I've let my beard grow out a bit, so I look a bit like Santa. But, I'm just overall pretty disappointed with the shooters that have come out. I nearly actually, I was considering buying Vanguard because, there's a lot of stories out there that they say Vanguard is really bad, but I have actually heard good stories. Apparently, the gunplay in the game is fantastic. But overall, generally, people are not overly impressed with Vanguard. But I was actually considering buying it. I missed the free weekend. I've been really, really busy, and the motorcycle accident the other week. It's been very up and down for me. But anyway, I'm going to have another sip of my Southern Comfort. Cheers, everyone. Hope you're all doing well, and I honestly, genuinely hope you have a lovely Christmas and New Year. But I'll see you before New Year. I might have a game of Battlefield 4 again, actually. Silver, how you doing, big fella? Hope you're well, mate. Cheers. So, boys out there, what's your... We'll start there. Let's see if anyone can join in. Is Santa the guest host today? What happened to Mr. Devlin? I know it is. It suddenly seemed to have grown. That's what happens. And because I'm got grey hair, and believe it or not, I've had grey hair since I was 21. My father... he was actually bought. I mean, for the age on me, I've not got a bad head of hair. But my father, he was bald and grey because he had hair at the side, sort of thing. 21, and I went grey pretty much at 21. But yeah, let's see what people's thoughts are. On Battlefield 2042 or any particular game of 2021, because honestly I do think it's been pretty shitty, especially for shooters. But we don't have to stay on shooters. It's just that I primarily play on shooters. Jack's son Felix, he's been playing not FIFA, what's he been playing? F1, and apparently he's having loads of fun with F1 at the moment. Another game I was consider buying because I don't mind the racing games, and you know what, I thought for a change I might buy F1 and see what it's like. He's having an absolute ball on the PlayStation 5 with F1. Silver only liked it for the story. Little Joker, nothing can get you into the Christmas spirit like a 2042 Boris Santa skin. Well, fucking hell, Joker. Yeah, I should have put a Santa hood on, shouldn't I? Because I'm not far off. He's got the grey beard as well. It's just mine seems to be, I think, growing out a little bit. I thought I'd leave it for Christmas, just for shits and giggles. So, Proton, your message retracted. What was that all about? I can't see what that is because I've not got actual YouTube up. I'm just looking at on OBS just at the moment. No open mic. You know what? I'll open it up. Give me a second. I'll go on. Give me 1 second. Let me turn this off. Right. Okay. So I'll go on the open mic. Don't switch that. Let's have a look. So I'm going to go on. If anyone's interested, I will go on. Do you know what? Fuck it. I'll go on the open mic. If anyone causes any nonsense, then I'll just start switching it off. So in the Discord, I'm on open mic. If anyone wants to join, say hello. You know, it's Christmas. Let's do this. Oh, have I turned that off? Oh no, I've left it on. Let's have a look. Multiplayer. Put it back on there. So if anyone wants to join, come along to the Discord. I've put it on open mic. I think everyone's allowed to go on there. I don't think there's any restrictions. So if anyone wants to join us, come along. Like I say, Friday night, but it's a special one tonight. It's Christmas Eve. And I just heard someone. Who've we got on?
Yeah, it's Silver.
Yay, we got Silver on.
Yeah,
How you doing, mate?
I'm doing all right.
Good.
I would have to agree with you. The AAA gaming in 2021 is horrendous.
I think so. I totally think so.
I even got Sandstorm the other day since it was on sale, and I noticed I got some Christmas money early, and I figured why not? What the heck? And the frame rate can get abysmal when there's all these explosions and shooting and all, but still at the end of the day, I'm having a lot. I don't really mind it. It's still a lot more fun than 2042.
Are you playing on last generation, Silver?
Yeah, on my Xbox One. I don't have a Series X yet.
So yeah, are you having any issues at all with it? Because I mean, I've heard real nightmares.
The frame rate feels like it's 15 or 20, but
shit.
Sometimes when there's explosions and stuff, but the hit reg, the shooting, the immersions there.
Yeah, it's definitely a decent game. Definitely a decent game.
It's terrible that I have to pick nowadays. Do I want this issue or do I want this issue?
When you should really
42 and then Sandstorm when it's just, can I just have a decent working game?
I've paid all this money. All I want is to play a game that you promised. 2042 is an absolute mess. I mean, don't get me wrong. When I've had decent games, I've really enjoyed 2042. I just get bored really quickly because there's such lack of content. The hit registrations all over the place. I like looking at a scoreboard as well, and it's getting on my tits that I can't just pop up the scoreboard and have a look.
To me, I can't take the game seriously. The only time I have fun is if I'm C5 droning or hoverboarding up a tower or whatever it is.
Yeah.
If you try to take the game serious, you just get upset. I mean, they pretty much killed Portal with removing the progression.
Yeah, I don't understand that. What? So, Silver, why do you think they've done that? Because there was people going on and abusing it, was there not?
No, I don't buy the XP farm for a second because remember Hardline? They had the no-kill blood money and Hotwire.
Yeah.
Remember Battlefield 4 with Chainlink?
Yeah.
I don't buy that for a second. I think they wanted they saw that more people were playing Portal and Battlefield 3 Remastered and Bad Company 2 Remastered.
Yeah.
And they were slagging off All Out Warfare, which is absolutely terrible. So they figured, we'll turn off progression and force these people into All Out Warfare and beg them for modes, because the reason why there's no server browser, persistent lobbies, and all this stuff in All Out Warfare is because my belief is the original intent was, if you want to make a server browser and all this, just make it in Portal. You've got your 2042 stuff. Just say 2042 on Kaleidoscope. We can play at Rush or TDM. No need to even ask DICE for limited time modes, but with them killing that, we're basically at their mercy. Now we have to beg for certain features like
which we shouldn't be doing. No, we shouldn't be doing that. They should be fundamental things in the game, like team deathmatch. I cannot get my head round why there's not a team deathmatch in that game. But you know what? I've got to say, because I made a server in Portal, and you know, I really could farm XP in that if I wanted to, because I'd just close off the server, just say, for argument's sake, let me and you play against bots, put bots down to as weak as possible, and then just farm XP. I mean if you could, you honestly could, because anyone can make a server, Just let me go back, go to Little Joker there. To answer your question, Devlin, only 3 games were an absolute win, in my opinion. None of them were shooters. So he's just listed them there. Kenya Bridge of Spirits, Guardians of the Galaxy, and my GOTY Little Nightmare 2, an absolute fantastic game. You know what? I've never played any of them. Have you played any of them, Joker? Don't think. Has Joker gone? Don't know if he's gone. Yeah, Joker, Silver, I mean. I don't know if you've played any of them, Silver.
No,
I think so. Oh, he's there. Yeah, Silver. I've not played any of them, I must admit. Kenya Bridge of Spirits. I've heard of Guardians of the Galaxy. I haven't heard of Kenya Bridge of Spirits and Little Nightmares 2. I've heard of. But Kenya Bridge of Spirits, I have no idea actually what that game is, to be honest.
Oh, that reminds me. I took some fun clips of the glitches. Last night I played it. There was some glitch with aiming, and I started aiming my guns like the gangsters do in the movies. So
Right.
I'm sitting there running around with my pistol sideways, shooting all the people, and I had a blast with it. It's too bad.
What was that on 2042 or Sandstorm?
No, it was on Sandstorm.
Sandstorm.
It was too bad when it fixed itself. I had my AK shooting it sideways and the pistol shooting it sideways. It was pretty funny.
I was just looking at Proton there. He said he's never understood how Sandstorm performed so bad. Just our airfield alone, and the Karsan probably has more assets than Sandstorm map, and they've had full environment sets designed for optimization. It's not like the airfield is small though; it's huge. I mean, I don't know. Look, I've tried to work with Unreal Engine. I'm far from a coder, but I really don't know how hard that will. I don't know. Is optimization sort of a completely separate part, Proton, of game development? Because I know obviously you design the maps, you've got to skin those maps, you've got to fill them with assets. Is it all combined into one? Say, for argument's sake, if you have one map, is the optimization built within the map, or is the optimization built as a separate entity that the map refers to? I'm not sure really how it works, and I'm sure you can tell us, Proton. And Joke said, best of them, beat all of them, and they're all great. I've never actually, in all fairness, I've got to say, I've heard of Guardians of the Galaxy. The one I haven't heard of is Kenya Bridge of Spirits. I'll have to Google that. I'll get Silver to do some chatting, and I'll go and Google that.
I think I heard of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, definitely Guardians.
Bridge. I haven't heard of that, and I think I heard about Little Nightmares. I haven't played any of those. I've more switched to anime games.
Is that what you play?
Yeah, I've been having a blast with Captain Tsubasa Rise of New Champions.
Is that a game from this year, or is that an older game? It's another game I don't know.
It was from last year. You know of Captain Tsubasa, the manga, right?
Right.
It's one of the most popular sports and mangas, and they have this where you can make your own character and be a part of that story.
Right.
And I think it's really fun. I've been playing some Gundam games. I've always been a fan of Gundam. What else have I played? Dragon Ball, the works. Because just the shooter games, I just can't play them much anymore lately. They like you say, do my nothing.
Yeah, well, they do. I think I've got it on screen now. So Joker, is this the game that's on the screen up there now? Oh, up there now. Is this the game? I'm not sure what this is actually.
You did not come to our village looking for forest creatures.
Hello, Spirit.
You can install a plugin, Devlin, called Return YouTube Dislike, and you can get the dislikes back.
Oh yeah, there's actually I believe so. Or you can see them. I don't know why they move them. I used to enjoy it. Do you know what I used to enjoy? Because I did content about Insurgency Sandstorm, and they didn't like it. I used to love seeing it. Yeah, giving me dislikes because people say, "Does it not bother you?" I said, "No, I love it because obviously then I know that I've affected them that much that they have to get salty and so they're doing all the dislikes." I thrive on shit like that, and they think they're doing something that will bother me and make me upset. I actually thrive on shit like that. Let's have a look. Optimization on Unreal Engine 4 is garbage. To be fair to them. I think, they had problems. Sandstorm, as a PC player, and I'm sure Proton, as a PC player, and do you know what? Because they actually spoke to us right at the beginning, I don't know if you remember, Proton, we had a community manager and he was called Alex Blomsky, and he was brilliant, and if there was any issues, he'd come, he'd explain it, he'd speak to you. He'd come and talk to the community. What my big problem was, especially for the people who do play the consoles, is the fact that they didn't say a fucking word. They didn't say absolutely anything. At least what we had, even though there was a lot of problems with Insurgency Sandstorm being on the Unreal 4 engine, the biggest issue, and I did call them out right at the beginning, and that was when I was massively active on Insurgency Sandstorm. We did call them out about it, but because they were speaking to us, that made a massive difference, because if they let us know let us know what's actually going on, then there's nothing really that we can moan about if they talk to us. But like I say, the problem was for the console communities, they didn't say fuck all, they said nothing, and for me that's worse. A developer that will not talk to a community, for whatever reason it be, that's totally wrong, and I don't think it can do anything but harm a developer. Right, so let's have a look. It's a game by Ember Labs. It's an animation studio. So what's the whole idea of the game, Joker? How you doing, Stars? How you doing? Yeah. I've actually got a few of these. I thought I'd wear it. And I thought I'd let my beard grow out, Stars. Get into the Christmas spirit, and I've got my handlebars coming out on my moustache just to get in the Christmas spirit. I've got the Christmas background behind me. I thought I'd make the effort because usually at Christmas I'm bar humbug me. Can't be bothered with it all. But I'm going to say cheers to everyone again. Let me put it in front of the mic. Cheers to everyone again. Tonight I'm on Southern Comfort. The only thing in that glass apart from Southern Comfort is ice. You know me, when I drink spirits, I don't drink it with any juice, any pop, any Coke, whatever. I always drink my spirits straight. People think I'm mad because that's pretty much a pint glass and I just fill the fucking thing up. And I hope everyone's going to have a great Christmas, to be honest.
Yeah. I have mind if I say a few more things?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it, mate.
So the other issue besides the umpteen problems of 2042, which honestly I think it has more things broken than it does fixed.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree, mate, Silver, that there's more things wrong with it than there is right. But carry on, mate.
If you've ever played the solo co-op mode, where or trying to make a portal mode where you have PvE AI, or PvP, it will literally not let you join an AI.
How you doing, Cesar?
It gives you priority over everything AI related. So, like, say I see a AI in a tank, a one-seater tank. If I go up to his vehicle and press to interact, it'll kick him out and let me get in.
Shit.
And it's like, okay, so why can't I join their squad? Because
Silver, give me a second. Let me turn you up a little bit. I think they're saying you're a bit quiet. Right, day talking. Let us know, Staz, if you think Silver's a bit quiet still.
Oh, sorry, I'm a quiet person generally.
Right,
But,
I've turned you up a bit because I have it quiet because sometimes I have the audio for your end, Silver. I have it a bit quieter
you
because
might want to just pump me to max.
well, I've actually put you up. The reason I put it down because then the game audio becomes far too loud.
Okay, so the 2042 maps are already big enough on their own with a squad, but trying to play it by yourself without a squad, that's almost impossible.
No, you're right. Definitely.
So yeah, and on to Battlefield 4, I would
Just
play
let me
this
say
game
something,
more.
Silver. Cesar, happy Christmas to you as well, mate. Hope you
Merry
well, and thank you
Christmas.
for popping along. So apparently it sounds good now, Silver. So yeah, go on. You were saying.
I would play Battlefield 4 more because it's a great game, but excuse me, on the Xbox apparently there's this issue with the majority of the DLC servers where it won't load the map. It'll just give you an infinite loading screen.
On Battlefield 4?
Yeah. And
Sure.
I can't play any of the DLC maps. I've tried everything. I've deleted, reinstalled, blah, blah, blah. I've even factory reset my console one time.
Sure.
And it just gives me a blank screen, and it sucks because...
Does that work on just on the DLC then, or on the vanilla game as well?
I can play the vanilla maps too, but it's kind of boring.
Sure.
Because some of the DLC were way better, like Dragon's Teeth. That's my favorite map.
Yeah.
Like Propaganda and Pearl Market.
Propaganda's a good map. Pearl Market, I love Pearl Market, but you can never seem to be able to get a game on Pearl Market. Yeah, Staz, come on the mic, mate. It's on the Discord. We're actually on open mic. Just go, you'll see us on the channel. Just pop in, mate. It's Christmas. Get on there. Anyone wants to join us, like say, anyone comes on and causes nonsense, I'll just remove you from the chat. It's quite simple, really. And then but Staz, by all means, come on, mate. Joker, anyone, Proton, if you dare. Come on the chat. It's in the Discord. You'll see us there, and it's open for anyone who wants to join in. Why not? Do you know what I mean? It's Christmas Eve. Obviously I only stream for about an hour, so we haven't got masses of time tonight. I just wanted, because I've actually got family downstairs, so I am going to stick to about an hour, maybe it's a little bit more. And then I'll do another one, obviously, through the week before New Year. So what's Joker saying? You want to know what's sad, Devlin, about Assassin's Creed as the old collection yesterday, and I started Assassin's Creed 2. A 12-year-old game. I had more fun in 5 minutes of playing AC2 than hours of 2042. Mate, you know what? It's a travesty. It's an absolute shame. And I totally understand where you're coming from. I played Battlefield 4. I was playing it just before Proton came on, and Battlefield 4. I was buzzing playing it again. It was absolutely brilliant. And then earlier on today, I was on Battlefield 2042, and I thought, you know what? I can't fucking play this. It's doing my head in. Is that Staz in the chat? I thought Staz was in the... Is he there? You sounded very echoey, Staz.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just a little bit. Are you on a headphone mic, mate?
Yep.
I thought so. You can tell. But yeah, no, really pleased you joined us, mate. This is your first time on here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Brilliant. So let's see what Proton's saying. I'm too much of a liability. Don't want to get you banned on YouTube. Mate, if I can't get me banned, I'm sure you can. I know what you like, Proton. But by all means, you're always welcome into the chat. I mean, you know me, most of the time I don't hold back. And you've got to be pretty bad to get... I say that, not nowadays. You can get banned for a lot of things. But if you fancy joining, by all
You
means
just have-
join.
You just have to have the wrong political opinion on YouTube to get.
Well,
banned
correct, and
fastest.
I'm going to say I lean to the right. I'm sorry, I lean to the right,
agree.
and I'm not going to, what I think politically or in general as a human being, not as a person who does YouTube. I have every right to think and feel how I want, because I would never criticize anyone else, for what they feel and think. So let me ask Staz, what are you actually playing at the moment? And did you buy 2042?
Because I played the beta and I couldn't fucking stand it.
I didn't like the beta either, but I tried to give it a chance, thinking there's going to be Portal in the beta, and I even waited for the access trial, and the access trial really fooled and bait and switched me, because I played the access trial for a couple hours, and that was when full progression was still there. So I figured,
Sure.
oh, okay, I'll like this, because I don't really care about PvP much more anyway. So I'll just
Right.
play some PvE. And mind you, I'm not playing it for XP farming. I usually set it to basic settings and all that.
Right.
And then they removed it the next day, and
Oh, so he's gone. So Staz, yeah, go on. You were saying you played the beta and you basically didn't like it.
Yeah, I got sick of it like after 3 matches. Yeah,
You thought, fuck it, I'm not playing that. Yeah, I try. You know what, Staz? I want to support I want the game to be good. I'm a Battlefield fan, but I'm not liking the direction of this game. And I think, the new studio, I can't remember it at the moment. The old DICE developers have gone over to do with Patrick Soderlund. And they're bringing out that new game. What's it called? I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I wouldn't know either.
Well, it was announced. Proton. What's that new game? And I'm sure it's Ember. Is it not Ember Studios that does that as well? I can't remember. So some of the DICE developers have gone away. They've done a third-person shooter. They shown it 2021 Gamescom thing, and apparently it's magical. And I've actually tweeted them saying Embark. That's it, Proton. Embark Studios. So I'd keep your eyes, boys, out on that. Embark, EMBARK Studios. It's Patrick Soderlund, who left because he told us, if you don't like the game, don't buy it in Battlefield 5. Ark Raiders, that's it, Proton, thank you. It's a game called Ark Raiders. I'd Google that because that looks very, very interesting. I don't actually, Proton, what are your thoughts on that? Because I know you'll say it as it is. I'm very optimistic about that game. The only thing is with me, I like first-person shooters. I'm not overly keen on third-person. Having said that, I really like The Division, and that was third-person. But I'm quite excited about that Ark Raiders by Embark Studios. And because it's the developers from DICE who have left because of Battlefield 5 and now 2042 artistic problems, they made it clear that they didn't think this is the right direction for the game. They've left, they've moved on, and Patrick Soderlund and some others have created Embark Studios. And the game that was announced was Ark Raiders. Go and have a look. There is stuff on YouTube. There is stuff on the internet. Something I'm very, very interested in. Silver, have you got back yet? No, I think he's gone. Oh, did he? So, Staz, what other games are you playing? Is there any games that you're actually well into this year, or has it just been a mega disaster for you, 2021?
Well, as you could probably guess, Insurgency Sandstorm has been
Yeah.
a big one for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm basically playing that 24/7. Very fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, the problem is like in Europe, not many people talk, so the comms are empty, and
And that I think that's one of the important things in Sandstorm as well, because you stayed supported me on the channel, and I've always said I love that game. I still love that game. But what you said just then in Insurgency Sandstorm, unless you're playing with, a group of friends, you've got to have comms in that game. You've got to have comms because you get the 100% immersion in the game. And I don't think you can play it right without people communicating, especially if you've got the commander and the, I forgot what it's called. Observer, that's right. The observer, they should be communicating, because you know how easy it is for these two to get split up. And if they don't talk, like the commander saying to the observer, please come back, I want to do this, I want to do that. I've found that myself, but I've been quite lucky because I've had a group of friends that we all played it together, so I've been quite lucky like that. But yeah, absolute nightmare if you've not got communication going on in Sandstorm.
Yeah, definitely.
So go on, Stas, go.
Go ahead.
I was just going to go back to the chat. Proton said Arc Raiders looks good, but the only gameplay we saw was running around and a few jumps here and there. So not really much to say. No, I totally agree. And it was probably scripted, cinematic scripted gameplay. Totally agree. Already looks better than 2042, but that's not much of an achievement. Again, another comment that's totally true. I don't know, people out there, where do you think DICE went so wrong? Because before the game was released, months and months before the game was released, they said, we're so far ahead, we're on track, this game's going to be awesome, there's so much content. And I understand, and I was one of them. People were saying 128 players is going to be brilliant, it's going to be mega fantastic, bigger maps. It's not worked, and I was one of the people that says, I'm looking forward to that. People are shouting out for 64-player games again, and they should be doing this. Look at your community. Look at the percentage of people now not playing the game. I understand that's them figures are only from Steam and PC players, but when you're losing 70% of your player base from Steam, there's got to be something wrong. And if people are shouting out for a scoreboard, they're shouting out for 64 players, slightly smaller maps, a better design of some of the maps, they should be doing that. And again, I think I was watching a Level Cap video this afternoon. They can do it because they've got temporary game modes that are giving us 64-player maps, and if they can do it in Portal, they can do it in the vanilla game. Don't understand why they're not giving us what they're giving us. And fundamental things like no scoreboard, game modes. Why is Team Deathmatch not in there? Why is Rush not in there?
That's a legacy feature,
Yeah, exactly. Apparently, that is something that they're not putting in the game. I mean, Stas, what game modes would you automatically expect in a Battlefield game?
I mean, Conquest, obviously, then
Yeah.
Domination, Deathmatch, Hardcore. I don't know, that's a thing. Those three for Battlefield.
Exactly.
It's not a lot. It's a small amount of game modes. It's not like Call of Duty or Halo where there's 15 game modes. In Battlefield, you really need less than 5, and that's it.
But the thing is, the community out there is crying out for game modes and content. I can't believe we've got to wait till March 2022 for new content. But Proton was saying the same senior UI designer woman was the same one screaming "Orange Man bad" during the 2020 election. That speaks for itself. Can't really comment on that, but the UI was terrible, like a child made it, and the actual child did in fact make it. Loving the teeth there, mate. But yeah, I just think Battlefield have gone so wrong this iteration of the game. And I personally think it's lazy. I personally think that they don't give a shit about the community. They've made that perfectly clear. This, to me, is just, at this moment in time anyway, and like I said, I'm optimistic about the game. I really want it to be good. But I think this is a money grab. I think that they knew the way they described it is going to be, Battlefield back to what DICE and EA are best at, and that is modern shooters, and we all got really excited about it, and 128 players, we all thought that was going to be fantastic. Turns out it wasn't the game really what they promised us, and I suppose not really a fault of theirs. The 128 players is just not working, and the maps, some of the maps are absolutely terrible. The design on the maps, some of the open spaces with no cover is a sniper's dream. But, when there's no vehicles and, you can't spawn on whatever area you decide you want to spawn on, be it for a bug, being that you can't just spawn on that area and you have to go back to your own spawn. You spend 15 minutes running across desert-like map and get sniped. I mean, it just doesn't make it fun. But I think they need to make the maps a little bit smaller, give us the 64-player games back, turn it back into the Battlefield that we know. And like I say, I am optimistic. And I'm worried about it as well. But I think, and I said it before, that if they can't get this right, then I think Battlefield's over. I think it's done. Because I did actually say that I'd only give it one more chance and they'll get no more on my money. And I actually meant that. I think I've been burnt too many times now by DICE. So what was Proton saying? Perhaps stop giving positions to people based on their genitalia and actually give it to someone who cares. And experienced people. It all seems to have political narratives for me nowadays. And that's not good for the people that play these games. And more importantly, the people that pay for these games, because, some of these AAA games are an awful lot of money. And there's certain groups of people out there that maybe's only had enough money for one game. Maybe it could have been a single parent that thought, my son, my daughter, favorite game is Battlefield. The only thing I can afford for Christmas is this game, and they buy the game and it's fucked, and it's just not the game that we expected, because at this moment in time, I think Battlefield, and I hate to say it, I get bored shitless playing it. I think Battlefield 2042, above all, including the bugs, including the lack of content, it's boring.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. We thought you'd gone off. It was just like there was silence for like 5 seconds. I thought, oh, he's gone.
Did you? My mother called me, so I was going out to say hi to her.
All right. Okay. So yeah, we were just talking about So what would you do, Silver? What would you do to make Battlefield better now, to bring these people back? What do you think you would do? Forget about the bugs. Forget about, glitches. They hopefully can be ironed out. What do you think fundamentally they could put into the game, take away from the game, new designs? What do you think they should do to make this game better, to make the Battlefield community come back?
First off, we need to get back to our roots and what made Battlefield great. You've seen the concept art of the game, and that really made me think, okay, so they had good intentions for the game, and they were trying to make Battlefield, but EA got in the way and said no. So I mean, taking the specialists away, but I don't know if we could do that realistically.
Let me tell you something, the specialists are not going away. They've spent too much time and too much effort. They're not going away. The specialists are not going. I think they're here to stay now.
At the very least, give us Portal back where it's our battlefield. You know, I mean, if you have to do something about the XP farm, and just make it to where bots give you XP based on the health. So if you want to make 1 HP bots, fine, give you 1 XP per kill.
Yeah. So relevant to what they set at, you mean?
Yeah, because that's not fair that it punishes hardcore people.
No, correct. So I was actually saying I would like them to bring back 64-player maps, make the maps a little bit smaller.
That's the
give
other
us the
thing
game
with-
modes back. You know, team deathmatch, rush. They're giving us these as time-featured maps and time-featured game modes. What a load of bollocks! This is what we expect from Battlefield.
That's why I was saying we should get the full progression back, because we shouldn't have to beg guys for these things.
I mean, it's ridiculous. I don't know. I feel so frustrated to what they've done to my favourite franchise, because I mean, I love Battlefield. Well, I used to love Battlefield, and like I say, I'm optimistic. I just hope they get it right. But I'm sure you've seen me, Silver, on Twitter. I say, look, listen to the community. You've seen me say to EA, say to Ripple Effect, just listen to your community. Don't ignore them. Give us what they want. And they've proved, which is the sad thing, they've proved they can do what we're asking for, because they've done it as you know, time restricted modes, and they've done it in Portal. They can give us what we're asking for. They're just not doing it.
This reminds me of your stream from the other day about the
My
game
rant.
changers. And I've already seen Twitter posts and YouTubes of Jack and Westy. They're already going back to Warzone.
No, they are though. I mean, you know, they came. I mean, they do play. I think they're under an obligation to play a certain amount of Battlefield, because I think there's incentives. So, you know, I'm not going to say that they've been paid, even though I'd like to say, and they probably have, been paid to do this, but I think they've got to play a certain amount of Battlefield. But you know what? They're straight back to Warzone, because that's where the money is. I do this because I have a conversation, I have a laugh, and you know, I have a good time with the subscribers that come on, and I try to interact with people, good and bad, who comment on my videos. But I'll tell you something, and Westy's worse for it, and he gets right on my fucking tits. Westy, okay, so if you see Westy tweet something, and you're subscribed to him, and you watch the man on the street, the person that just follows him because, you know, he's a fan or likes Westy, and he'll say something, you know, he'll reply to Westy's tweet, or he'll reply to Westy's YouTube video, and nothing.
You're going to be ghosted. But as soon as one of his buddies or his friends,
correct. You get someone like Flackfire, Jack Frags, whoever, and he's straight on. Oh yes, mate, this and this, and aren't we fucking wonderful? And this is what I'm saying to people. People need to get wise. These people, honestly, and I will stand by what I say. They don't give a flying fuck about anyone out there. They only care about their clique.
They're the politicians of Battlefield,
Correct.
of the video game community.
Correct. But I think that's the case. So I've done just over an hour. I've got family downstairs, so I am gonna cut the stream off. But I want to say thank you to Silver and Staz for coming along. Staz, just a little bit quiet tonight, mate, but I'm sure people heard you. So yeah, I'm going to finish off the stream. I just wanted to really talk about Battlefield, not just Battlefield, but 2021. For me, I'll ask you boys what you think, but for me, gaming wise, 2021 was a massive disappointment. So Silver, for you, what was 2021 game wise for you?
For AAA, yeah, it was kind of a disappointment, but this was the year of the indies. Maybe this
Yeah,
is
I think
maybe
so.
this is for the better. If we could have a game crash for the AAAs, which would
Yeah,
force
when they
them
start taking over.
to get better out of all the indies, and hopefully this is for the better.
Well, fingers crossed. Staz, for you, 2021 gaming, what was it like for you, mate?
I mean, Insurgency Sandstorm came out, so that's a very big plus, I gotta say.
Yeah,
So honestly, not that bad, to be honest. Like, yeah, there was not a lot of games, and those who came out were not that good. But I mean, yeah, Insurgency really just saved the year, to be honest. That's
yeah,
it for me.
it is a good game. It really is a good game. People get me wrong sometimes. They think I'm having a go at the game. And Staz will tell you, Silver will tell you, it's never been about the game. I really like the game, really enjoyed the game. Fanboy of Insurgency Sandstorm, just don't like the developers. And I'm not a big fan of any of the community managers, apart from the original Alex Blomsky. I really didn't like any of the community managers, but the game, think it's a fantastic game. I'm really happy. That's why you don't see that many Sandstorm videos from me anymore. I'm so happy that the console community finally got the game. So anyway, Staz, say good night because I'm going to close the stream off. I think he said good night. We couldn't hear you, Staz. So Silver, say good night. We're going to close the stream off.
All right, good night, guys.
Yeah, and thank you
This
for
is
everyone.
Mr. Silver signing off.
Mr. Silver out. So anyway, I really appreciate it. I hope everyone has a lovely Christmas. Joker, Cesar, Proton, cheers. Thanks a lot for coming along. Especially special thanks to Staz and Silver for helping me out on the stream tonight. And that's about it. So have a good Christmas, and I'll see you just before New Year. I'll probably do a stream on New Year's Eve. Latest, chat.